Oh, well, let's see if this works. Hey, Sue. Evening. Feels weird being here at the shop. What is it, 8 o'clock? Right, I'm just going to check that cable. That. I'm knitting. Hey, Jill. Yeah. Oh, hey, Karen. Hey, everyone. Right, let's see. Well, it's different using this camera. I think it's HD. So. Hello. Right, let's rejig this. Make that a bit smaller there. I'm going to try the wonders of YouTube. They're saying they can now push out one stream to 2 destinations. So I think it's going to horizontal as normal, but also vertical, if you like watching on vertical. Hope you're well, Karen. Hey, Michelle. Good to see you. And Jan. It was from the shop. We don't often get to see the shop. You know, way back when I first started, this is the room that me and Anya would be at. And we would pre-record and then edit. But, you know, with time you do things. And I think actually it was COVID that sent us home. And then I started doing it from home, from the potting shed and everything, and then into the study. So it then was at home a lot. And then, of course, it's about the shop. The whole channel is about the shop, about me and my shop. And I was chatting away with FIzz over Christmas, and we said, like, we need to get back to the shop so we can see it, so we can talk about it, we can get stuff off the shelf easily, and yes, so that's the plan. Every 4 weeks, no, it's every 2 weeks there's a show, basically. 2 weeks, then it will be the Sunday show, then another 2 weeks it'll be back in the shop for a Wednesday, then 2 weeks it'll be back on a Sunday. That's the idea. So the idea of this show is just a hangout. It's, you know, a chatty show, not produced in that respect. So I've got no FIzz in my ear. Though I did just check in with her and have a quick chat. You might be sat there knitting. Here in the UK, it's horrendous weather, isn't it? How much rain? How much more rain? I'm so over it. You, I know. I think you've got more up there, Karen. You must just be just drizzled on every day. Hey, Anne, how are you? It's good to have. Look at all these W's in. It's brilliant. Yes. So if you've got your knitting and you've got your sewing or whatnot, Karen, you'll be pleased with me. I have done non-stop dressmaking for the last 4 weeks. I've never done so much because I have been doing a project with Carol Elaine. You know, Carol, Master Tailor Couturier. She is phenomenal at her craft. And she, since doing the Sewing Bee and our All Gathered Up shows, she's gone really into the tech stuff and wants to develop her career so she doesn't have to work so much in London and commuting, and also not so much on her own. She wants more interactivity with people, because that is the thing with sewing. It is very much a solitary skill, isn't it? you have your, well, I know, Karen, you've got your fabulous making room, but it can just be you on your own. So Carol is wanting to do these online shows where you have a Zoom and you have a masterclass and you learn along and do something. So we've been trialing her setup for the first time ever with this new platform that she's got, and it was to make a gilet. You'll be so proud, Karen, because I've virtually finished it. Now, obviously lemon and blue, because we were talking about it. Look at this wool. I'm so pleased. Look at my pockets. I've even got a belt on the back. Do you want to see my lining? Look at this lining. Most of it has been hand sewn, like a proper tailor. And that's the thing. If you do the classes with Carol, it's less about the commercial sewing, which you would obviously do with the commercial pattern, end up being a lot of layering up, sewing round, bagging out. That would be the usual way. Whereas this has all been hand done. So I bought a pattern, but the beauty of doing it with Carol is that I literally used that pattern to cut out the pieces, and that's it. I've not read the instructions since, because you work through it with Carol and you work through it in a way where you don't need the instructions. So boy, have I learned a lot. There's so many. Patchwork I can cope with. 1/4 inch seam, and you just keep, you sew your 1/4 inch, open your seam or push to one side, boom, done. Repeat. With dressmaking, I don't know how you do it, Karen. There are so many skills in so many different orders, and I'm not very good with that whole idea of opposites and working back to front, facings, linings. That just explodes my brain. But I've been really pleased, and it's virtually finished. So I've got to have a photo shoot soon wearing it. I've got to do a few finishing touches. But as I say, I've never done so much sewing for 4 weeks. So it's lovely. Been really nice. Right, let's have a look at the chat. Oh, hey up, Lynn. Lynn says, Sue just reminded me you were live. Oh, there you go. I was watching the summit. Knitting on the go. Much like, oh, lovely to have you here. Karen is, oh, that's quite small. I've done it like that because we're trying to see if it goes on the shorts, but I think I might make it a bit bigger. Let's do it like that. I'm knitting with King Cole Homespun Aran at the moment, and yes, it's the webbed feet. Watching but can't listen. Don't worry, absolutely fine. Lovely to have you here anyway. Thank you everyone for the jackets. It's turned out really well. Oh, hey FIzz. I know. The lining has got is it griffins? Can you see them? Oh, I'm not with my usual setup, so it looks a bit. And quilted. That's quilted in the back, and all these little. So I've pulled it in, and I've got this special technique that tailors do, where's my back? That you got this for added movement when you're driving or whatnot. Yeah, loved it. Anyway, so I've done nothing but sewing. So I've done no knitting or crochet. I think Sue said Saturday when she was in for Knittinata, oh, what knitting have you done? Where are you up to? And I've done absolutely nothing. So my Call of the Wild is still in the bag there. Oh, let's get rid of that. Sorry, Michelle. Anyway, before we move on, let's talk World Cup. window display, because here we are in the shop. And if you are watching on catch up and this has appeared on your feed, your YouTube has just shown you think, what was he doing in this shop? Well, shall we have a look? I'll just pull my... Let's see how this works. Because some of you probably haven't seen the shop for ages. Let's turn it around. There we go. So that is the window. And look, this is our wool wall. And it's changed a lot over the years. We've done it so it's in certain zones. So we've got an acrylic column, cottons column, sock column. Oh, look at this new yarn. Oh, look at those. I bought this on the whim. I have no idea what to do with it yet, so I've got to get looking for a pattern. And then we have the new in yarn. Look, there's our fabulous faux fur, which has flown out the window. I've got a couple of pinks left, and do you know that caramel colour was the least popular? I've not sold one. There we are. And then I'm going to show you this later today. Look at that. That's King Cole Firefly. Then we've got double knit British wools, the fabulous West Yorkshire spinners. Then Aran, then Chunky. And then there's lavender blue wool. My yarn, but doesn't it look a bit... Oh, I just need to get dyeing again. I need to get in that freezing cold garage. But I'm going to show you these in a little while. Look what Jimbo has been making for us. So I'll show you some of those. And then over this wall is our haberdashery. This is a new knit-in. Mandy has just knitted this. Petite knit. That's ready for a customer to pick up. And there. And then obviously our knit and natter room. This is where all the action happens. It's the table that they all sit at. And the kitchen out the back. So that's our little shop. But it's that window there that has seen many a display. And we've loved filling it. I've just put some red yarn in there for Valentine's. But our next big knit along window display is the World Cup. So let's explain that. Let's put this camera back down. Right. Squish it up. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the World Cup. We've decided it is football kits. It's tops only. So we're calling them football shirts or football jerseys. And we have finalised the patterns. We are recommending 2 patterns, 1 knitting and 1 crochet. There's the knit. Oh, isn't it so cool? Look, on a knitting needle. Isn't that fab? This is the knitting pattern as written, knitted up. Jan Thursday, our knit and natter, I gave the pattern to her and said, can you trial it to see if it's good for our display? And it's absolutely brilliant, she says. The pattern, all easy to do. There's one size for the knitting pattern. FIzz will put the link in. And there's the link to the World Cup form as well, where you can choose your nation. Now, this isn't a World Cup team. This was just the pattern. So this is probably Newcastle. Who else is black and white? Can't think. Probably Newcastle. But you've got to see past that. So ignore the stripes on the pattern, because this is what the pattern says to do. But you choose your nation, and then that flag is then reflected in the football kit. So if you were going to do England, you have two choices. So England, you could do the classic St George's Cross, so red and white. So you could just have red and white and be creative with how you put red and white in. But mostly the kit, the actual football kit, has some sort of red, white and blue on. And over the years, they've put the red, white and blue in different places, whether it's up the top with a few streaks or whether it's how they put it down the side. So you can be inspired by the kit, because I know many of you are secret football fans. You know your team. So you can then choose to use the kit as your inspiration if you know the kit, or you could just go, I'm doing America and it's red, white and blue. So you're just going to put red, white and blue and then maybe be inspired by where you're going to put some red stripes and maybe where you're going to put some stars. Just like what we did with the Olympi hens way back in 2024. So that's the knit one, if you want to do a knit one. And then this is the crochet one. How cool is that? The crochet pattern has several sizes because it's actually for, this is newborn and it goes up. So you want to do the first size, small, newborn. And this is Brazil, green and yellow. And it's all done with double crochets. The pattern is American, so you'll be reading single crochets. They're all done flat to try and keep it as simple as possible. So this one is done the front, and you start at the bottom, work your way up, and then do your decreases, and then you'll do one side and then the other side. Then you'll do your back. The back was actually very easy. You start at the top, do your increases, and then crochet down. It's got a very clever way of picking up and doing the V into the sleeves. That might challenge you. Jan, when she did this, she said that was the only hardest part, because once you've done the front and the back and seamed it up, you will then pick up here, what's that, 8 or 9 stitches, cast on, make 8, so make it like a chain, then do the back, pick up, cast on, do 8, and then do that. And then in essence, you'll, with those 8 there, which will be like this green bit here, you then crochet downwards and make the sleeve, fold it and seam. That probably didn't make any sense. So there we go. So it's ready now to start. We will big time launch this either on a special pre-record that I have edited, or it will be in 2 weeks on Sunday. But I know many of you are, you're itching to get going, so now you can. So FIzz will put the link to the World Cup form, and it will tell you a little bit about what we're doing. And then you'll scroll to the bottom and you'll see the whole list. There are 42 teams taking part. You can choose any one of those and then send it into the shop. And you could do as many as you like. And we can have as many duplicates as we like, because technically there are 11 players of the team. So you never know, we might get the whole of the England squad made. Oh, and don't forget, if you want to, you could be really clever. This is what I perhaps like to do. If you fancy it, why not try putting a number on the back and your name? So rather than doing a real footballer's name, do your name on the back. How cool would that be? Would also mean I won't stand any risk of going, oh, who did that one? Now, normally I'm very good and have a great spreadsheet. And when they come through the post, I write it down straight away. This one is that person and blah, blah, blah. But actually, how cool would it be to have your name on the back there? So be as creative as you like. And then we will hang them all in the window on these knitting. Just imagine them. Oh, camera's going wild. I'm over here. I'm over here. What's it doing? There you go. So you can access the Google form. We don't need any details from you just yet. You don't need to submit an email or anything. You literally go on there, choose your team, press submit. And then we can get an idea of how many teams have been chosen. And if we're struggling to get all 42, then we can look at it and choose some too. Please support the pattern designer. The patterns are so cheap, really. They are affordable. I think they were like something like £3 or £4 each. So whichever one you do, please support them. I know you lot are all great with that, and we don't often hear too much about, I'll email you the pattern, I'll email you the pattern. The whole point is to support everyone. So please do go, whichever one you want to do, crochet or knitting, have fun with it. Be wonderfully creative like you always are. It's all with double knit wool. And that is the sizing. They're fab. What is that? The size of my hand? Have I got a tape measure? You think so, wouldn't you, in the shop? What do they work out to be? About 7 inches. 6 inches for the crochet, 7 inches for the knit and deep. 6 inches. 6 inches deep. So there we are. So go, go, go. That's what I say. Right, let's have a look. Hello, hello, hello. Right, just catching up. It's really weird because obviously I don't hear FIzz. So sometimes she points out in my ear certain things to look out for on the chat. Hey, Margaret. Good to see you. Hey, honey kid. Hi from Minnesota. Hello from freezing cold Long Melford, Suffolk, UK. Though saying that, you're probably cold up there, aren't you? There we go, there we go. Kiwi James. Good Thursday morning, everyone, from the land of the Kiwi. I was talking about you today, James. So Annie, who is a knit and natter here at the shop on Wednesday afternoon, we haven't seen her since October because she's basically gone over to New Zealand for a grand tour. She finally came back today. She walked into knit and natter. It was like, oh, and I got to get my hands on Kiwi James's balls of wool for the first time. And to see his own yarn, Joy of Yarn. Oh, that colourway was wonderful. Margaret says, just finished knitting my first hat. Oh, and did it go okay? Are you going to Instagram me or email me a picture so we can have it on the gallery for February? I'd love that. Will you be going to Cologne? Yes. I can't wait. I've been chatting with Gavin and Teresa from Yarnworks. We're all ready. I am treating myself a little bit because of the change of plan with holidays and my 50th and everything, and not going to next year now because of the position of the shop, because it's going to be I don't know where we'll be come September or October, November. The one plus thing I will just say, I've had a chat with the landlord since, and who is absolutely brilliant. They've just said, Stuart, if you get to September and you're found nowhere, don't worry, we're not going to chuck you out. How lovely is that? They said, well, we'll work something, whether it's an extra 3 months and you just give us 3 months notice or 2 months notice. But you won't be chucked out in September. But yes, so we don't know where we'll be at all. So I can't really go swanning off to America for the holidays in the summer. So change that plan for the year after. But I thought, oh, perhaps I'll go to Cologne a day earlier and treat myself for an extra day there. So that will be nice to go and see everyone and catch up. And I can't wait to see what the new trends are, to see what new yarns will be there, what the colours will be, because remember when we went last year, we were seeing an awful lot of boucle. Will that still be there, or will there be more of it? We also saw an awful lot of burgundy red, so are we going to see different colours, and what those trends are? Will the colour dance, is it Cloud Dancer of Pantone, beg your pardon, will that have influenced the yarn industry? Will we see lots of creams and neutrals? Oh, can't wait. The new 4-ply could be a Sophie's. Shall I get it? It could. A variegated Sophie scarf. So I've got 3 colours. It's called Silky Lace Rainbow. Oh. And it is. This is not even on the computer yet, so I couldn't even give FIzz the link. So you can't buy it. It is 80% merino wool, 20% silk. There are 3 colours. That's colour 1. That's very spring-like, isn't it? That's colour 2. Then rusts. Isn't that lovely? I never thought of a variegated Sophie scarf. We've got a solid one. Isn't that nice, isn't it? Do you do it twice? Oh, that's it. Is that how you do it? There. It's actually freezing in the shop, so that's actually quite nice. Or do you do it like a bow? Do you do it like that? You can tell I don't wear these sorts of things. Gareth from Manchester Wool and Yarn, who is much more stylish than me, he pulls it off rather well. But I'll have a go with those, Margaret. I'll give it to Irene. She'll have it knitted up in seconds. But great idea there. Oh, hey, Linda. Because I showed it to all the knitter natters last week, because it only came in last week. We've been waiting zonks for it. It's basically flown off the shelves at King Cole to the point where they were just overwhelmed with everyone reordering it. Didn't have enough stock, so everyone was reordering it and they couldn't send any out. And then they couldn't get enough from the factory either, since the factory was overwhelmed. So when this second order came in, it was on like a strict sort of, right, that shop's got to have some, that shop's got to have some. They can only have so many each. So we were lucky to secure 2 packs of every colour. Do you want to see it in close up? And I've never seen a yarn like this. And I've been to Cologne for 2 years on a trot now, and they do have an awful lot of acrylics at Cologne, because all the yarn companies are there. But when I saw this, I was like, oh my lord. I'm just going to, excuse me. You can see right my nose. Camera, you're not supposed to follow me that. Ugh, I'm making you all seasick now. There you go. Oh, that's the biscuit box. There we go. And I do have an audience for acrylic here, and I do want to have the yarns that people are asking for or would like, because that's what it's all about. We've always said from the beginning, we're not yarn snobs here. Everyone has their tastes, and it's nice to be able to get certain yarns in at different points of the year for different types of interests and likes. And I saw this yarn, I just thought, that's so cool. So this is Firefly. And for once, King Cole, sorry, King Cole, I shouldn't say this, but sometimes their labels are, a little bit questionable. But this is a lush label, nice card with a cool design and cool concept. It's an Aran weight yarn, and it's a tape yarn. See that? A chainette tape yarn. You can see it's flat. It has a black base. Oh, no, where are you going? It has a black base with the colour in it, but it doesn't knit up like when you look at that. It just looks lush. Can you see how the light, when the light is on it, it pings? It is literally like a firefly or a, those cool stag beetles, ones like the purple. How it changes colour when the light's on it, and when it's not on it, it kind of goes to black. So it's a black base, but you mustn't be deceived by the ball. So it looks like, now I'm hot now with that on. So it looks like big bands of colour, doesn't it? So you'd think, are you going to get like an ombre, like a marble chunky, like a big bit of green and then it fading into a big bit of yellow? But no, what it actually does, it's a speckle, a very subtle speckle on that black base. So if I show you the patterns, there's the green one. It's a good pattern support. I think there's a good 8 patterns for 8 colours. But can you see the speckles? So but the base is still black. So it comes across as quite sophisticated for evening wear, for the autumn, going out, Christmas. But where I think it's going to be a great yarn is for the summer. Oh, camera, over here. Lost me completely. What are you doing over there? There we go. Is for the summer, I actually think it's going to be a lovely yarn for, think of a really, we're all thinking of the summer, aren't we? Think of a nice hot evening, but when it starts to get a little bit chilly, you would throw this over because it's incredibly light. Because of that flat structure, even though it's technically classed as an Aran weight, it's light as a feather. And the drape to it will be lovely. So you can imagine chucking some of these cardies over. Look at this one here, which has got some violets in it. And you can see it in the sleeve there too. Just imagine chucking that over on a, you're out in the park, or you're out at like a concert, where they have the concerts in the park. Again, this idea with the black vest top underneath. They are obviously doing it for winter wear too. Look at those. Now that is what I call a tassel. Who loves a tassel? Let me know in the chat. Do you like a I love a tassel, and I think the bigger the tassel, the better. Oh, hey, Lewis. Good, you are. It was brilliant when you came up and you sat with us at Knitter Natter. Oh, thanks, Margaret. Yeah, they're. Do you want to see? Let's do this. See the sheep that Sue Friday Knitter Natter did. Look at that one there. Zoom. How do I zoom? Look. Oh, cute. That's Sue doing her tapestry. Isn't that fabulous? And then above it, oh no, down. A fabulous picture my other half got from the Lake District for the shop. And then this is a find that I just adore. Let's go right. Can you see this one? This is my favourite, actually. I'm gonna. Oh, let's move. This was a charity shop find. I'm going to go even closer, and it's pencil charcoal. Look at that, and how moody and atmospheric is that? You get the impression that it's evening and the storm is on its way, and it's actually windy as anything. And I got that from a charity shop for £2. How is that in the charity shop in the first place? Why is that in the charity shop in the first place? Isn't that amazing? And then, did you see? Oh, there's me. All right, I'm just gonna. And then, where is it? Look what I got for Christmas. The Crooked Men calendar. We're on February. Anyway, sorry, Margaret. We were talking about the sheep, and then look at this cool sheep. How fun is he? Or she? Hello. Hello. Fabulous, isn't it? Right. Let's go back. We were looking at this yarn, weren't we? Yes, so the idea... No face detected. No. It's because I'm up here. Sorry, that's hideously close. I did say it was going to be raw at the shop. There we go. So yes, so it looks lovely, but the colours are fabulous. Look at that blue and aqua. There's 8 colours, so that's the blue and the green. Oh, let's get rid of Margaret saying there's she. Then you've got a lovely copper, yellows and golds. That one's called Lace Wing. So we had Mayfly, Dragonfly, Lacewing. Firebug is purples, reds and pinks. Violet Dropwing, purples and reds. Oh, can you see look, when that there when the light hits that purple. Yeah. And it's fascinating. I'll try and show you how they So Irene is knitting for me already. I've chosen the Norwich City one. And she is knitting there's a lovely slip over. Not that green one which I showed you. There's a really... Oh wow, I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Irene is knitting that. It's a clever 2x1 in places, then 3x1. And it is literally a box. There's no sleeve as such. I don't think I can show you. So you're not picking up any stitches here to knit out. It's just a box and it's hanging down. So that will be in the shop soon. So that will be able to show you that on our Sunday show in 2 weeks. Right, we've shown colours. Then there's a beautiful silver one with touches of coral. It may not pick up on this camera, but there are touches of coral in there. And then there's glowworm, which is very much a rainbow in muted colours. Green, purple, blue, orange. That's how the blue one knits up. Amazing. But there we are, yeah. Just so you know, it's 35% acrylic, 65% polyester, 200 metres to a ball. Goes a long way. £5.10 a ball. No, £5.50 a ball, beg your pardon. But I think we're all going to look so chic come the summer evening when we're at our orchestral parties in the park. Or Christmas, if we have a Christmas do, we all come in our very swish black with a little bit of sparkle, subtle sparkle. In it just, yes. Excuse me. Oh, thanks, Fizz. Yeah, so click on that and you'll see the form and you can choose whichever team and get creating. It is really good pattern. It's a clever pattern. Did some hunting. Not going to lie. That's what we do when we're planning and preparing things and then finding what will work. But those two are really, really good. She probably is. Probably pulling the hair out. Oh dear. Hey Lorraine, hello from Canada. Just wanted to say, with the Olympics on TV, me and Goldie see Olympia. Oh, brilliant. Oh, I love it. I know, I saw his post. I need to go and do that tonight before I go home and say happy birthday. Where's that time gone? Where has that time gone? It's balmy. Jen, second time I've seen Fly yarn today. Someone else on YouTube. Yes. Was that Knit Nottingham? I follow Knit Nottingham. The yarn shops have been basically waiting for it for a long while. And I feel for those yarn shops because some of those yarn shops got the first order. So they got the first order, say, of 2 packs each. It flew out the window. They then put the second order in, but by the time they put the second order in, King Cole couldn't get a new order in, and it was just like, we want more, we want more. So it has been very, very good for King Cole, which is great. And as I say, it's something new. I have not seen anything like that. So it was just like refreshing. And I can't wait to show you what the tank top looks like. Hey, Emmy, good to see you. Hey, Beth. Oh, there's some good new faces on today. Lewis, metallic tassel said, oh, yes, and I know you like a tassel too. Hey, Gav, how are you? You all right? I was over, this is Gav from Yarnworks, and we were doing lots of packing yesterday, weren't we? Did you get all your orders done? I know. Should we have a... Do you want to see what January was? These are the two guys down at Lavenham who have got the crooked house, the orange crooked house, and who have done wonders for that house and for the village as a whole. Look, that's their house. So, January. But this was sort of dubbed as their, the flesh version. I'm going to have a sneak peek at March. February, can you believe it, everyone? February. Last February, we had Finish It February, when we were going through all our whips and through my whips and what we need to finish and what we need to go back in the cupboard. So we'll be doing that in 2 weeks in the next Sunday show, because I think there might be. Oh no! Yes, that was a whip and a Finish It February last year. How can that be? That means it's sat in this bag for a year. Time. Where does time go? Where does time go, everyone? Was that on the close-up? I expect so. Oh dear. Oh, good. I'm glad you're all done. I'm glad you got everything out. Oh, she's shouting. What have I missed? Yes, it's a light Aran. So a 5mm. It's very drapey. Really drapey. I think it's going to be great. Oh, well done, FIzz. You've sorted the form out of it. Right, let's go back to my list to see what else. We're nearly coming up to the end of the hour. What else were we going to talk about tonight? Oh, James's bags. Lavender and blue. Yes. Right. Last summer, here in the village, just outside the shop, we had a Long Melford Summer Spectacular, where all the businesses did some sort of event, whether that was inside or outside, money off, prizes, goodie bags and stuff. And we were outside the shop. Knit and Natter were in, Sue was in, Lynn was in, Jimbo was in for the day as well. So it was lovely. It was a beautiful day. Was it a beautiful day? Did I just make that up? I think it was. We were outside. Lynn was outside knitting, and I was demonstrating Lavender and Blue, the magic of it. Putting a white hank into a vat, seeing it green inside, pulling it out and it's yellow, then seeing it turn blue before your eyes. So I was doing that all day, and Sue was here in charge of the shop, and it was brilliant because they were then coming in, and Sue was doing her magic with upselling too. We had a really good day. Sometimes Saturdays are very quiet in the shop, and at the moment it's very quiet because no one wants to come out in this atrocious weather and battle the potholes in the road. But it was a great day, and I was saying to people, if you want to bring an old garment that's white or not so white anymore, we can give it a new lease of life by putting it into the dye vat. Well, we had someone bring along a shirt, and we dyed that for them, and it came out magnificent, and they were so pleased. We did a few shirts. We did a few, if I remember rightly, some cross dyeing. One lady brought in a top that was pink, and we dyed it and it came out purple. But James brought some linen. Let me go and get it. And he was having fun bringing his linen cotton and doing the old school tie-dye. Can you remember with our t-shirts where we would get lots of rope string and tie it round and make knots to form resists? So he was doing that quite happily. Then we bunged it in the vat and then took it out, and then obviously we had this wonderful results. Well, that was last summer, and Saturday just gone, he brought in these lush bags that he's made. There are only 3. If you love them and you want them, you have first dibs. You can put it in the chat and go, Bagsy, me have that. And then whoever came up first on FIzz's screen will say who's got it. But don't worry if not. It's just nice to show you. So there's never a compulsion to buy. We have these. Look, this is the tie-dye linen. And it's a square. James will put the terminology better in the chat. But look at the lavender blue. And you've got bits of dark blue like there, then where the string was and the resists. Oh, I can't get back to front there. And then we've got some navy, what do we call that? What's the cotton webbing like we use on bunting? See, and then lined. These ones are about, I want to say 6-inch bags, 6-inch squares. And look, aren't they lush? Fully lined, and it's got his tag on. Can't read back to front. Hooray for James. And these little square ones are retailing at £20 each. Should be way more, shouldn't it? But there we go. But they are lovely. I think this one is slightly bigger, actually. Look at that one. Look. This one's got a paler lavender blue tie. That one's got the navy. They are wonderful. They're the 2 squares. And then we've got like the project bag, which is 25 for being a little bit bigger. Look at that. I love the placement of it too, James, where you've put, especially this side, off centre. Aren't they great? And then with the... There are so many talented people around, aren't there? How lucky are we to know so many creative people? Pull it like that. Or if you want to, you can have it like that. You could be knitting and walking around. Oh, sorry, people who are watching. But how lovely is it to see the lavender blue on the linen? A unique bag that won't exist anywhere and is non-repeatable. How cool is that for a bag? Look at the bottoms. Look at the detail. A bit of fluff on there. It's like the bag I showed you on the last show, my present from Karen. You sewers. It's brilliant. So they look lush on my stand. So let's put these back. I had a couple of tourists in today, actually, and they were looking at the yarn because I've got some hand spun. Marion, who lives a village out there, had taken some lavender and blue and spun it into yarn, and they were fascinated about that. And that's the kind of the exciting thing about the new premises, whenever we find them. Wouldn't it be lovely to be able to be dyeing? So when those tourists came in today, they could see me putting yarn in, pulling it out, turning blue, even putting their own in, and then judging how long they want it in there for how blue they want it. Yeah, so many things. A rice bag. Yes, I think, yes, that's it. That's what he called them. Stuart, are you giving these away? No, they're for sale. Yes, the 2 square ones are 20 and the big one's 25. So if you want that, just pop it in the chat. If you want to look at anything more, because they're not on the website or anything, because James has given us 3 and I thought they're for the customers and you can have first looks. Emmy's, well, you can have a Jimbo bag. Yeah. I send it off to you again. Oh, I think that's a similar form of technique, isn't it? No, it's not been covered. It's that resist. How do you get the resist when you ice dye? Is it wherever as the ice melts? So when it's hard, that's the resist, and as it melts, it then touches the cloth. Bev would love the square one with the navy straps. Navy, please. Oh, right. This is great. Navy straps. Navy straps. So there's a big one, Bev, the 25 quid one, or the little one with navy straps. And Emmy says navy, please. Big one or little one. So whichever one Bev doesn't want. Oh no, hang on. Whatever one came up first on FIzz's chat, I'll have to wait to see what FIzz says. We'll sort you out. Have you got any more fabric, James? Do you need to dye some more? I'll get you some more. You can dye some more, and you can get making. We'll have these mini sweatshops everywhere. Yes, it is right. Absolutely right. Yeah, you. They are lovely. And then what with Neil's lavender and blue pottery yarn bowls? Have you ever seen those? Have I shown you those? See, this is the exciting thing about being in the shop. It's just easy to show you. Oh. Oh, we're coming up to the hour. Look. Lavender and blue yarn bowls. Though that's quite green, that one. But we have had some stonking blue ones from Neil. So it's wonderful, isn't it? Celebrating all these crafters. Emmy says, okay, Bev would like navy. I'm good with the other square. Oh, they are. Done. Sold to the 2 ladies in the chat. The 2 little square ones. Bev and Emmy. That's obviously going. That might take some time to get to you over in Minnesota. And Bev, you've got that one. Send us an email, Bev, and then I can send you a PayPal. We can do it like that. Right, let's go back to our running order, our loose running order. Fizz, did this show up in YouTube Shorts? Right, I'm looking for Google. Where are we? We've done that. We've done. Oh, this is how efficient. FIzz is, on our little online form that we have where I put the contents of the show, she's already put down one for Emmy and one for Bev. We've done that. I think we've covered everything. Anything you want to see while we're here? Otherwise, that is it. I've enjoyed. I enjoyed staying here because obviously the shop closes at 4. We didn't go live till 8, so I had my chips for tea. I did a bit of sewing and a bit of tidying up, and it was actually nice to have some shop time. So I was pottering around, I was moving things about. So it was actually really nice to be here. But it's about an hour's drive, so 9 o'clock I'll be home for 10. Curly Sue says maybe you should show the lacy blouse. Oh, do you want to see that? Yes. Okay, so you have to think this lacy blouse we found at I think it was like a couple of quid or something, around these antiques fairs. You know, where you go around and you see a wardrobe, then you see a chest of drawers, and then you might see a hamper full of linen and old-fashioned tablecloths. Well, I found this blouse. It was white was questionable. It was kind of cream and a bit sort of brown round the neck. I thought, oh, I could put that in the dye vat and it'll just come out lavender blue. Look. And then Sue worked a magic because it didn't really have any buttons on it, because they were old-fashioned buttons and they'd started to come off. Sue found some buttons. Can you see those buttons? I can't see. Oh yeah. Perfectly lavender blue colour. And sewed them on. But this is original. You can see look at the binding on there. And then also, look at this label. Can you see that? Made in Switzerland. But how beautiful is that? A whole new lease of life just by going in the lavender and blue vat. Obviously not for me, but so this is what we'd like to do with the bigger venue. You could do more lavender and blue. We could do more material. We could just do straight material. We can do clothes. And the whole idea of giving clothes a new lease of life, that could be a whole thing. Just bring your whites in. So it's good. She's working the magic. It is, yeah. I don't know what. I don't think we ever worked out a price. Did we say that? Like 12 quid? 15 quid? Something like that? That's what I've got to get better at. Oh, there we go. It just never ceases to amaze me what you can do with an indigo vat, and what you can dye. Once I get past sock weekend, yes, I'm looking forward to that. Well, I'm not going to the sock weekend. James is teaching over weekend. They've got a house and a group of people who have paid to learn how to do socks, and James can do socks, coming out of his ears. He's just such a pro with that. So he's going to teach them, and I'm here obviously Saturday. They're doing. Are you doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Something like, yes, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I said, oh, can I come over and just sit with you in the evening, Saturday night, and just knit after they've had their dinner? So that'll be nice. He's busy. Karen, We had chips for tea. It's something we don't often have it, do we? But it always seems like a little treat, doesn't it? Lots of vinegar and lots of salt. You should. I know I'm brave, but I don't think I'm that brave. They are beautiful, aren't they? And he is a new potter. He's only just starting to learn. But look at the glaze. Can you? Oh. But he did some classic blue ones for me, like James's bags, and they sold out. So I think I've only got a dark blue one left. The brighter blues, and with your classic there at the front, the brighter blues all sold out. Put that back on. So I've said to him, I said, Neil, can you do me some more yarn bowls? Because it's lovely, and we do get a lot of tourists. We're very lucky, and they normally go to Lavenham first, and then they find that there is nowhere that does anything like that, and the people in Lavenham do go, you need to go to Long Melford, to the wool shop in Long Melford, and they come in. But so you can understand why it would be nicer to have a bigger area, a lovely area with nice pictures of the dyeing process, and then Lavenham blue hanging, and the dye vats, and just being able to dye in situ for sure. I'm not putting that on the screen, Sue. I have a fab vintage Ralph Lauren sweater that would be fun. Oh, wow! See, and add a new lease of life to it. Oh yes, and I must finish too. It's 9 o'clock, and I'll be home late at this rate, won't I? Hope you enjoyed it. The idea is to do this, as I say, once a month. So every 2 weeks there'll be some sort of show, whether it's the produced show that talks about all things knitting, crochet, what's in the news, topical stuff. And then this more informal one, where literally, this is just the setup. It is literally the camera. Can you the computer? Where I see. Oh, look at this. That's going to be trippy, isn't it? Where I can see your comments, and this camera here, and then us in the shop. So that it's gone. Yeah, down here. Hello. So that's it. But it's actually been nice doing more from the shop, especially when it gets to the later, the longer days. We'll be here at 8 o'clock, and it'll be beautifully light outside, and it'll be really nice. And it's just nice to then be able to get things off the shelf. If you wanted to talk about a weight of yarn, if you wanted to talk about something specific, or if you just wanted to watch whilst you're knitting, that's what it's all about. So I shall bid you farewell. Thanks for watching. I hope you've had a nice evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. I shall put these back on the shelf, drive home for an hour, and then I'll be back here for Thursday morning Knit and Natter, 10 o'clock. I'll put the kettle on. Have a fabulous... Oh, Alice, I did see your message. Hello. And then I never put it on the screen. Good to see you. And I'll put the kettle on for 10 o'clock in the morning. Have a fabulous day wherever you are. Oh, hey, Gary. Bye, Gary. We're off. And see you in 2 weeks for a Sunday show. All good. Ta for now. Yes. Ta-ra. Oh, yes. Well, that's the whole point. Having a nose round. And yes, get knitting, everyone. Knitting, crochet. Gary, get crocheting, choose your nation, and get making a top for our window display. There we are, football. FIzz, drop the link in, and then you can go and choose a nation, and we're going to make a phenomenal window display for June and July. can't wait. Can't wait to see all your creativity. So have a lovely evening, day, wherever you are. And I'll avoid no potholes as I drive home, and see you whenever. Cheers, everyone. I'm now going to try and press end. How do I press end here? Ooh. Until next time, bye. Bye.